Welcome to Kick Fit with Jose Ortega. Here we go again on Kick Fit. Welcome. We're going to start again stretching. We're going to move those arms back and forth, get a good rotation on those shoulders. Spread your legs apart, reach down, touch your feet. Keep your knees straight. And just let gravity take you down. Come back up and just rotate your hips side to side. Get a good stretch on that lower back there. Then cross your leg over. Reach down. Feel a good stretch behind your hamstrings and calf. And alternate your feet and do the same thing on the other side. Now take a seat. Go ahead and straighten out your legs. Touch your toes. Pull your heads forward. Just come down as low as you can. Spread your legs apart in that lotus position. Try to push your thighs outward and pull down if you can. Get a good stretch inside that groin area. Spreading your legs apart like a Y, pull your head forward, arms straight out. Then go to one side, touch your toes, bend over. Feel that good stretch and do that same thing on the other side. Again, we're going to be punching, kicking, using elbows and knees. Want to warm our body up, get a good stretch as they're doing here. Cross your leg over, put your arm to the side and stretch that lower back of yours. You feel that on your glutes too. Same thing on the other side. That's a kicking motion we use for the round kicks. We want to loosen that part up. Turn over on your belly. Push yourself up, raise your chin high, stretch that lower back again. Rotate your head around, loosen that neck. And lie down forward. Put your neck sideways, swing your leg backwards. Again, another lower back stretch. And rotate over, do the same thing on the other side. Come back up, push your shoulders down, spread your legs outward, kind of push your hips downward, kind of like a splits position, but on your knees. Come back up, legs crossing over, get the back of that calf stretch. Do the same thing on the other side and walk yourself up and rotate those knees. And let's move on to our next part. Okay, they're going to start out with jumping jacks, 20 jumping jacks. And then after the 20 jumping jacks, they're going to do 3 burpees. Again, don't have to be so rigid. Loosen your body up. And do that burpee. Assuming that push-up position, jumping up high in between, springing up, and go right into that jumping jacks again. So not only we're warming up our body, we're loosening all the muscles, and also we're expanding our lungs so we can get that oxygen going. Again, from 20 jumping jacks all the way to 3 burpees. Reach up high to the sky. Don't have to be fast, do it at your own pace. Just get some good breathing, good breaths every time. Again, stretching out the body, warming up the body, stretching out those lungs and warming up those lungs also. And springing motion is going to give you that acceleration, that velocity to kick, punch. A lot of footwork used in Muay Thai. So again, want to warm up, feel good, so we can get ready. And whether you're doing this alone or you're doing it with friends here, there's nothing like watching somebody else train and doing it with them. So whether you're in the gym or you're watching this video, it kind of inspires you to train a little bit harder. A whole class of people doing the same thing. Looking good, feeling good. And these guys are doing it for a full 3 minute round. And as they stop here, next thing they're gonna do is gonna jump rope. And jump rope is an essential part of Muay Thai training. It's an essential part of also boxing training. And if you don't have a rope at home, you can use an imaginary rope. You can skip with the same motion. A lot of times when we have people starting out doing jump rope and they don't have quite the rhythm yet, we have them pantomime that they have a rope in their hand and they're swinging that rope and they're skipping rope. Now remember that term, skipping rope. They're actually skipping the rope, not jumping the rope, not jumping super high. They're just letting their feet glide and getting that little shuffle. Now skipping rope really develops the back of your calf, and the calf is so important for balance, for striking, for pushing off when you strike, for using your kicks. And it develops rhythm too, because you have to jump over the rope. And don't forget to breathe. Again, you want to get that breath going. Breathe at a good pace so you get oxygen in, oxygen out, and warm your body up. And there's nothing like skipping rope to warm up. Yeah, usually we do this 3 minutes because when we train for a 3-minute round. It's the same amount of time that if you were fighting or competing in a professional event. Usually it's a 3-minute round. Amateurs do a 2-minute round. But again, even if you're fighting amateur or pro, we want to do a 3-minute round to get that cadence. So if you're fighting a 2-minute round, you're obviously going to last a little bit longer because you got that extra minute in. So 3 minutes, and then we take a break in between. Usually a 1-minute break. Sometimes in an accelerated pace, we do a 30-second break. Again, see, you can shift your weight from side to side, one side or the other side, or you can jump with both feet at the same time. Skip your feet, alternate your feet. Skip your legs back and forth. There's many different things you can do. Take the boredom out of jump roping. Now, it's a lot of fun. You go back and forth with one leg forward, switching sides, doing the same thing. So when our fighters train for fight camp, they usually do it for about 20 minutes nonstop. And it really, really warms up the body. The last 30 seconds, we ask our students to jump rope and raise their knees a little bit higher. Again, that works you out a little bit harder. And breathe, get that good rhythm going. You can speed yourself up. The important thing when you jump rope is not to do it too slow because it changes the rhythm. All right, these guys are gonna do push-ups in between, and then we'll get started in our first combo.
Hi, my name is Jose Ortega. This is my assistant, Kim Bowie. We're here at Muay Thai America Gym in North Hollywood. I'm going to show you a quick counter attack that you can use, okay? First thing you're going to do is you're going to bait them with a 1-2. When they step in to counter with a jab, you're going to counter with a hook, and that sets you up right into the round kick. Okay? You can also do the other one right here where you go 1-2, you bait them, you come in again, and you overhand cross into the switch kick. Or simply, you can just do the 1-2, bait them again into a hook cross. Right there, okay? That's a combo for today. Work on it. All right, good luck.
So there's 3 combinations. The first one, we're going to use a 1-2. That's a jab, cross. Then we're going to slide back away from our opponent's attack. Going to use a left hook. And as you throw that left hook, it winds your body up for the right round kick. Okay, so take a look at combo 1 again. Jab, cross, slide back away from the opponent's punch, throw the left hook, and right kick. 1, 2, slide back, left hook, right kick. Let's take a look at another angle. Jose throws the left jab, that's the front hand, follows with the right cross. He slides back, and he throws the left hook at the end of his slide back. And see, that turns him over to throw that right round kick. Once again for combo number 1. Jab in, stepping forward, follow with the cross, slide back, left hook, follow with the right round kick. And the last time. 1, 2, slide back hook, right round kick. Jab, cross, left hook, right round kick. And you see how he turned his feet over, his front leg over, when he threw the left hook? Look again, jab, cross, and look at this turn here. Turns his feet over, boom, throws the right round kick. All right, that's combo number 1. Again, if you get confused, watch the lower part of the screen. You'll be able to see the combination being thrown over and over again. So what we do in our training, we do freestyle training. In freestyle, the pad holder does anything he wants. He'll call jab, cross, kick, call different combinations. But when he uses the word combo, that's the combo we're gonna throw. The 1, 2, slide back, left hook, and right kick. So it's a freestyle and a combo situation. And freestyle helps you develop fluidity and flow in your technique. So you're able to just move a little bit more freely. Nothing's that rigid. But when we call the word combo, you're essentially doing 1, 2. Again, slide back, throw that left hook, and then execute the right round kick. So that's 6 moves, and by saying the word combo, we're able to get that instruction down a little bit faster. So again, work with your partner, throw a little bit of freestyle in there. You see Jose again, throwing that combo over and over again. And so if you don't have a partner to work with, you can do the same drill on a heavy bag. Use a punching bag, and work that technique. 1, 2, slide back, left hook, right round kick. And if you want to do it just in front of a mirror, that's no problem. You can do it in front of a mirror or just standing alone. You can use gloves or you can use light dumbbells and throw the technique over and over again. It develops good muscle memory and it helps us remember the technique and helps us develop flow. And there you see Jalay throwing 2 right crosses, then 2 left hooks. Hook cross from Jalay, and you see his freestyle. His padded holder is calling different combinations, followed by a kick, and a kick again. Four straight punches. So again, you can watch one of the guys on screen, follow their technique, or just kind of flow with them. It doesn't have to be exact, but it helps you develop some movement. And if you think about Muay Thai or boxing, it's more like freestyle dancing. If you kind of compare it to karate or kung fu, that's more like step-by-step dancing, ballroom dancing or something like that, you know. Muay Thai is more like jazz dancing, freestyle dancing, you know. Your body just kind of moves and it moves in different ways, and You don't want to think too much, you just want to strike and move and have some flow. Right now we see Jose holding pads for Malvar. And Jaleh and Ken in the foreground. And they're trying to work out their combo. Again, feel really good. Feel the power, feel the strength, feel the movement. Just find the fluidity. Muay Thai is the art of 8 limbs. They're using everything here: punch, kick, and elbows and knees. All right, they're going to continue on with the same combination, but they're going to switch partners, okay? I'm going to review that combo once again. All right, it's always good to develop that rhythm with your partner. And, with pad holding, you want to be safe. You want to be safe for your partner, for yourself not getting hit, and also not injuring your partner that's striking. And sometimes if you hold the wrong technique or you crank the pads too hard, you can injure them. So we want to train safe and have good longevity. You're using that same combination again. You see Jose in the bottom right corner, he throws that left jab, right cross, slides back, throws that left hook, and he turns his hip and turns his knees and feet, and it winds him up for that right round kick. Again, in Muay Thai kick, we try to kick through because we're assuming our body is going to be stopped by our opponent, so we're going to chop right through them. We don't want to flick the kick out. We really want to swing it like a baseball bat and swing all the way through. You see, when you're holding for the round kick, you're putting 2 pads together. And that creates a little barrier so you don't get hit. And you can rock your body into it. Jaleh in the foreground showing how to switch a stance. It's a lot of fun just using these techniques, moving, getting a great workout, and also learning self-defense. That's the great thing about this. Muay Thai is the art of 8 limbs. Punch, kicks, elbows, and knees are being used. It's one of the most deadly stand-up sports around. So you get a great workout, learn self-defense, push yourself. And again, when you're training in an atmosphere, either where you're watching somebody or watching a group of people like this, or you're in a class environment, it kind of forces you to push a little bit harder. And at this 30-second mark, everybody's throwing uppercuts. They're going to uppercut their way out. And that's usually our sprint session, the last 30 seconds. Throwing those uppercuts until the bell rings. All right, let's go to combo number 2. You saw this one earlier. Jose throws a jab, cross. Again, he slides back away from his opponent's punch, and now he throws the rear hand, the cross, instead. When the cross comes back, he switches his feet and throws the left kick. All right, so the last technique, combo 1, we used the right kick. This one, we're using the left kick. Again, off that cross, switch your stance very quickly and throw the left kick. 1, 2, slide back, cross, switch left kick. Let's take a look from a different angle. Jose right to the lens. He's going to throw the jab, follows with the cross, slides back, throws the right cross, And when the retraction of the cross comes back, it helps him switch, and he throws the left kick. And if you kick and miss, you want to return to stance just like Jose's doing. Jab, cross, slide back, cross, switch, and kick. 1, 2, slide back, cross, left kick. So when we say one is always the first punch, or punch number 1 is the jab. When we say two is the cross. That's the second punch. That's the right hand. Slide back. Throw the 2, which is the cross. Switch. Now this is for the right-hander, and if you're right-handed, your left foot is forward. It's because we want the right hand to be in the rear, because that's your power hand. If you're left-handed, you just do the opposite. You put your right foot forward and punch with your front hand as your jab. One more time. 1, 2, slide back, cross, switch, left kick. All right, these guys are gonna put that combination into work. And again, when we train, we wanna do freestyle training. So we want the strikers to hit various combinations according to the pad holder, or you can just come up with your own combos, freestyle on a heavy bag. But then when the word combo comes out with your trainer, throw that combination. And that combination is 1, 2, slide back, right cross, switch, left kick. Again, if you get lost at any time what the combo is, look at the bottom right side of the screen and you'll see the combination at work. We always want to breathe when we train. Whenever you strike, you want to breathe out. Now, breathing out gives you explosive energy. When you breathe out, you're forcing oxygen out. It's almost like grunting when you're picking up something or you're moving something heavy. It gives you that explosive energy, but it also forces you to draw oxygen back. And what happens a lot of times when people are training, they hold their breath too much or they hold it too long. We don't want to hold our breath. We want to regulate our breathing. So if you remind yourself each time that when you're punching or when you're kicking, whenever you're striking, to breathe out. And breathe out again forces you to draw oxygen back. If you pass out, there's no one there to save you. And then we have Michael and Bart in the foreground. And Michael is using a jab and a cross to the bodies. So not all the punches, as you can see, are focused to the head. You can work the body up and down. And Bart, the pad holder, is making Michael keep his hands up. Both of them have a competition coming up, so it's good muscle memory to always train and put your hands back up. And keeping your hands up will allow you to protect yourself, but also execute offense and defensive techniques a lot quicker. And good form is always the most important thing because we're developing muscle memory. So if you have bad technique or bad form or a bad habit, you're actually practicing that over and over again. And we don't want that. We want good form so then when you do practice, your body remembers that proper technique. These guys are finishing with their 5 kick combination, left and right side. All right, they're gonna switch off. We're gonna do that round one more time. The partner's gonna do it now. So again, get your water, catch your breath a little bit. We'll start that round one more time using that same technique. Let's review the technique again, looking at the bottom left. You can see it's that 1-2 slide back, a right cross, left kick. Okay, so there's 2 punches, there's a slide back, there's a punch, and there's a kick. And as the pad holder, sometimes you can throw punches and kicks at your opponent to force them to remember to work their defense. Because punches are coming at you in an actual fight situation, and nobody plans them, they just come at you. So you have to be ready, you have to be balanced, and that way it reminds you to always be ready to strike and also defend. Gilet's working that combination in the foreground. He throws the 1-2, slides back. Did the first combo. And you can see they're moving their opponent around, okay? So when you're fighting, you also have to readjust your stance, move around. All right, and as you move around, make sure your hands are up. Make sure you're ready to defend and strike. A lot of times when I'm training alone, I like to use a 2-pound dumbbell or a 3-pound dumbbell, just something not too heavy, but offer a little bit of resistance. And since I'm training alone, I don't have a bag to hit or I don't have pads to hit, I'll punch the air, but I'll use these little dumbbells, and it gives me a little bit of resistance. And I like training looking at the technique in the mirror. So it always allows you to see yourself, to see if you're keeping your hands up, see if you're shifting your weight properly. And so when you train in the mirror, don't always look at yourself to see how good looking you are. You want to look at your technique primarily. See if your technique is clean, see if your hips are turning, see if it looks like the same way Jose's doing it here. We're almost a half hour in, and you know what? You're sticking with this. You can do this. You can push yourself, get that workout in, develop a healthy lifestyle, learn self-defense, and also relieve yourself of stress. All right, let's take a look at the third combo right now for combo number 3. All right, combo number 3 starts off the same, using the 1-2 punch combination. Same thing again, slide back. But this time, the left hook follows with the right cross. So there's no kick involved with this one. Again, 1-2, slide back, throw the left hook and right cross. So it's 2 straight punches, using the left jab, followed by the right cross. You see Jose sliding back on the retraction of that cross. Slides back, throws the left hook, then follows by the right cross. Once again, go faster, jab, cross, slide back, throw the left hook, and right cross. 1-2, your opponent's coming at you. Slide back, throw the hook, and then the cross. Again, look at the technique. Slide back. You see when he slides back, his front foot goes on its toe. That sets him up to easily turn for that left hook, and then followed by the right cross. Slide back, left hook, right cross. Combo number 3. Let's put that to work. Again, if you forget the combo, look down in the bottom left hand of the screen, and you'll see that combo being worked. All right. Always work out with your partner in the beginning. Make sure the technique is smooth. Make sure it's clean. Make sure you're holding the pads correctly so you develop a rhythm and cadence. Again, when you start out, you don't have to be fast, but you do have to be clean. The technique has to be clean. So work out your routine with your partner. Spend some time, and again, this is for safety. Always be safe. Jelaine and Ken trying to work out that combination. Oh, they're working an earlier combination. Again, they're trying to work out that routine on the pads. Sometimes the techniques that your partner's introducing to you, it's a little bit different, so it's always good to try to work out, learn the pace, learn the cadence, learn the rhythm, and work around. Okay, so remember the first combination, use the kick. The second combination, use the kick. This third combination, it's all hands. So when you slide back, throw that left hook, throw the right cross. And you see Kim demonstrating that with Jose. And so females can actually do the same technique, and they can be good trainers too. They make great partners. Again, as long as you do the work. Muay Thai doesn't discriminate. It doesn't discriminate between age, gender, ethnicity. And we have a saying that it's a big social equalizer. And whether you're a doctor, or you're a janitor, or you're a soccer mom, or you're just a regular guy, or with $1 million, you're all struggling for the same amount of oxygen, and you're equal on the gym floor. And so they're rolling their uppercuts out. You can do the same thing too. Last 30 seconds, roll those uppercuts. Make sure the shoulders are working. Keep that rhythm going. Again, it's our last 30 seconds, and that's how we sprint out. All right. Gonna do that round one more time, switching off with your partner. Again, if you're doing this yourself, just follow one of them or follow any one of them. You can switch. And again, you can do the combo if you want. You can mix it in. Again, throwing the 1-2, sliding back, throwing the left hook and right cross. And breathe. And since these guys know all three combos, they're working sometimes combo number 1, combo number 2, combo number 3, and they're adding different freestyle moves in between. So if you finish this round, this will be your 6th round of striking. You work 2 rounds of each combo. Also did a full stretch in the beginning, followed by jumping jacks and burpees. And then also a round of rope work. So essentially 9 rounds. Good job, guys, sticking with us. Keep that technique flowing. And you see our strikers are also using their elbows too. Now, elbows is a short range weapon when you use that elbow. Usually you use it when you're a lot closer. If you see a Muay Thai fight and somebody's bleeding, it's usually because they've been throwing elbows, and elbows are a cutting weapon. Very, very dangerous. I trained a lot of bouncers throughout my days. usually ends with one elbow or one knee when they're bouncing at a bar or a club. And then they throw them out. Good work, guys, and work those shoulders. All right. I know towards the end your technique gets a little bit sloppy because you're tired, but push all the way through because you can do it. All right. Let's take a look at some of the sparring. Now, when you're watching sparring here, you can shadow box and move with them, okay? You can pick one person, all right, whoever's facing you, and that can be your opponent, and you can just move with them, or you can just copy one of the other fighters on screen and move with them. And again, we're finding flow, we're finding balance and timing. And you see, they're not sparring that hard. They're actually doing what we call technical sparring. Jose's in the foreground with Ken, and Ken's throwing punches, trying to get forward. And you can see both these guys are working what we call a vertical target. You're punching high, but you're also kicking low. You're kicking to the body, you're kicking to the head, and it keeps you active. So if you're watching this and train, pick somebody and kind of just shadow spar with them. That's a term we use, shadow spar, where you're actually not close to somebody, but you're actually working the same technique. You can either copy their technique or you can defend against them as if you were fighting them. You can take notice of the people's positions. You see how everybody's hands are high because they don't want to get punched in the face. So a lot of times during training, we develop bad habits. We drop the hands, after we punch, but we want to keep the hands up in this situation because we don't want to get punched in the face. And you see when they're sparring, they're using shin pads and gloves. And usually the gloves are 14 or 16 ounces, so they're pretty heavy. They should have a mouthpiece on. And because you never know if you get hit, you don't want to lose your teeth or your tooth, or don't want your gums to get cut. And you can work around back and forth. Find that good movement. And you see, they're using that sliding technique, going backwards. The same combos that we did earlier, they had the slide backwards. You can see their opponents using that same thing and sliding, moving around. Again, when you spar, you have to be mentally there, and that's why endurance is an important thing. But it's also important to work out the techniques that you learn. So if you did combos today, we did 3 different combinations. Try those different combinations or parts of it. All right, you're going to switch for a second round and switch partners. Here in the foreground, we have Bart and Michael working. And again, they have a competition coming up. And Bart's in his late 40s, and Michael, a young guy in his early 20s. Both tall, but again, you can get your work in. Again, don't have to hit that hard. But, you want to use good speed, good balance. Again, we want to be able to develop timing, accuracy, striking, and letting the technique kind of flow. Can't think too much. Kind of train to see yourself where there's openings, and if you don't have an opening, you can throw a series of combinations to create a different opening. So in that instance, you see Bart throwing a bunch of punches and Michael covering high, and that leaves his body open, and he followed up with that. So footwork and also head movement is important while you spar, and of course breathing also. Breathe, when you counter, always try to counter with this series of techniques. So sometimes you're throwing 4 or 5 moves, but only one of them is going to connect. And that's the important thing, is to set yourself so that you can connect with one. Not everything you're going to throw is going to hit. But it also creates openings and creates opportunities. Yet sometimes when you spar with somebody, you can take turns, let somebody throw a combination while you cover up, and they do the same, and it allows you to create distance and find your rhythm. Now we use shin pads to protect, just like we have gloves on, you know. Later when you fight in competition, the shin pads will come off. So you will have to strengthen and toughen your shins. But in Muay Thai, toughening your shin is just part of the conditioning. And by kicking the pads repeatedly or striking the bags repeatedly, you're able to toughen up those shins. All right, we're going to go through one more round of sparring. Muay Thai, the art of 8 limbs, 2 fists, 2 elbows, 2 knees, 2 feet in the sport of combat. Here, we just saw something a little bit silly. If you take a picture like that, it looks like the person kicked you and folded your body in half. So it always makes a great photo. We see Barther kicking the heavy bag, trying to turn those hips over. Ken and Sean sparring in the foreground, and they're using control and technique. You see when Sean throws the low kick, the other person blocks, and as you block, you throw the counter. It's good to develop that timing, pace, rhythm. The interactivity is fun. It's almost kind of like playing tag, but it's sparring tag, fighting tag. Alright, you've been through this whole thing. That's 9 rounds of work, 6 rounds of combination, and then 3 rounds of shadow spar. Well, hey, it looks like we have time for one more round of sparring, so let's do that. I'll make 10 rounds for you guys if you're training with us. Bart and Sean are in the foreground there. And Bart, obviously the taller guy, using his range, using his reach. And Sean covering up, using his head movement to evade his punches. And Sean throwing a couple of jabs, measuring his distance. And when you use the jab, you can use that to paw out and measure how far you are. So obviously, if you throw the jab out and you miss a little bit, you know you're just short of throwing that right cross, okay? And so you can use that to measure. If the jab is very far away, you know you probably have to follow up with the kick. And if you hit with that jab and stun the person, you can always follow up with a kick, or follow even closer with an elbow or with a clinch technique. go. Hands are high. Bart's using a body cross or body jab. And he's defending his face as he throws that body jab. The covering side of his face. So go ahead and use your punches to find that range. Move with them. We call this technical sparring when you keep it all technique. All right, find openings, find balance, create distance, close the distance, use speed, and you don't have to hit hard, but you can still use your speed. Let's take a look at the technique that we learned today as a review. The first one we did was a jab, cross, and a slide back. All the techniques that you learned today use the same 3 movements, jab, cross, and slide back. In this case, you follow with a left hook and then a right kick. That's combo number 1. Combo number 1 again was jab, cross, slide back, left hook, right kick. It's always good at the end of the session to practice the technique that you learned, just as a refresher. So again, combo number 1. First 3 movements are the same. Jab, cross, slide back, throw the left hook, follow with the right kick. And when you do this technique correctly, you can feel your body mechanics, how it flows and how it flows the right way. You should feel very natural, stepping forward, jabbing, throwing the cross, stepping back, and again, turn with that hook. And as you throw that hook, that left hook, your body and your hip and your feet and your knees turn. See that turn? Sets up for that kick. You notice in the punching, all the palm is turned down. And it gives you a twisting movement in your punch. So it's kind of like a little corkscrew. Drives in there, kind of drills in there. So jab, cross, step back, throw the hook, right kick. That was combo number 1. Here in combo number 2, jab, cross. Again, slide back. All the movements are the same. Follow by the right cross. Switch your stance and throw the left kick. And we use that switch to move your foot in the rear. Once again, jab, cross, slide back. Throw the right cross. Switch and then a left kick. The things to point out: 1, 2, slide back on the cross. And when you throw the cross the second time after the slide back, use the retraction of the cross to switch your stance. Let's take a look here. So it's a 1-2 combination. He slides back when the cross comes back. He throws the cross again. And as the cross comes back, his feet switches. And that sets up for the left kick. One, 2, slide back and cross. Switch, throw the left kick. So again, all these combinations, the first 3 movements, the 1, 2, slide back, it's all the same. We're just showing you 3 different ways you can counter with that. Jab, cross, slide back, throw the cross, switch your stance, throw the left kick. And always land back in stance. 1, 2, known as the jab cross, slide back cross, switch and throw throw the kick. And always notice the non-striking hand is always by your cheek. So when the coach says answer the phone, he means that hand is low. So you want to keep the hand right by your cheek. This is the third combination. Again, the first three movements are the same. And after you slide back, you throw the hook cross combination. Left hook, right cross. So here, 1, 2, slide back, left hook, right cross. 1, 2, slide back, left hook, right cross. So combo number 3 uses only the hands. Jab, cross, slide back, left hook, right cross. So 2 punches, a slide back, and 2 punches again. Try that one more time. Jab, cross, slide back, left hook, right cross. Again, repetition creates good muscle memory, and that's why we practice this over and over again. Combo number 3. Jab, cross, slide back, left hook, right cross. This has been Kick Fit with Jose Ortega. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.